Today, I am in conversation with Dr. Patrick Shroeder, a research fellow with the Green Transformations Research Cluster at the Institute of Development Studies. He specializes in creating a global transition to a circular economy within the context of sustainable consumption and production systems. So, in your own words, how would you describe the circular economy and it specifically in terms of textiles or the garments textile industry? How do you think the circular economy would make a difference to the way things are disposed of?
Okay, this is mainly regarding consumers, this focus. Yeah, so...
Or as well as producers.
As well as producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of... maybe I start...
And governments as well, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
How anyone can make a difference. Because there's a lot of wastage in that area in the textile industry.
Yes, maybe, yeah. If I start with the consumers, actually, and one of the objectives of the circular economy is to keep things in use for longer. So that's actually, it's a very basic idea. And this actually maybe would require consumers just to think about using their clothes for a longer period of time. So now there might be nothing really technical or innovative is required. It's just a kind of a change of how consumers consume and use their clothes. And the other aspect to that is also, I mean, for consumers, there's these three types of things that you can think about. Is first of all, what to buy, then how to use what you buy, and then at the end, how to dispose it. And there's the right ways and the wrong ways of doing it. So for textiles, for example, as a consumer, you can consciously maybe make choices what type of clothing you buy. So if you go for fast fashion, it's obviously not very sustainable. But then there are companies like Patagonia. It's probably very often quoted, but they seem to be doing a very good job in trying to make their textiles more sustainable.
But an issue is with a lot of ethical brands or sustainable brands is that their clothes are very, very expensive, which makes sense because they're paying everybody a fair wage and they're using proper, methods of gathering resources and whatever. But so many people can't afford that. So I feel like the circular economy is for rich people,
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's an issue. That's generally an issue with green products. Maybe organic food, another example, which is also part of the circular economy in the food sector, and that's an issue. So there's no easy solution really to that at the moment, but it's true. Circular economy as a kind of concept or a new approach to be accepted by consumers. It has to be very much mainstream, and it shouldn't result in huge cost increases it should be made available for everyone.
But does it make sense for a large corporation to adopt the circular economy methods? Because I feel like it makes sense for them as well, because they could reduce the amount of, in terms of textiles, cotton they're buying, for example, if they were using old clothes. So it's not just on the part of environmentalists that it makes sense. I feel like it should make sense on the part of corporations. Or is it more expensive to recycle things rather than make them new? Is that the issue?
That's very, very true. I mean, the only way the circular economy will be picked up by big business is if it as a way of reducing costs and making more profits. And so there's some indicators that big companies are moving. They're very interested in the circular economy. So there are a number of reports and some data out there which show that innovations along circularity can bring it's kind of the new product innovations which can bring additional revenue but also cost savings. So as you just mentioned cotton, but I mean for other resources as well. So resource prices across many sectors are increasing constantly. So like forward-looking businesses, they're always looking at, and one of the issues is they want to reduce risks. And so spikes in resource prices, these are big risks for them. And so they are looking at ways of saving costs. But these are, in a way, experiments at the moment, so it's not quite clear whether they can actually, whether these business models work, how many costs can be reduced. And this other part which comes in and which companies haven't figured out yet is this kind of like reverse logistics type of thing. So if consumers take, I think H&M, they have this kind of take back, right? You can bring your
conscious,
clothes.
H&M conscious.
Yeah,
I was
bring
going
us
to ask
back,
you about that. Yeah.
and then so I'm not too familiar with how it works in detail.
Yeah.
But generally for companies, they need to, because then this needs to be brought back to another facility where it's kind of reused or reprocessed, etc. So on the one hand, the companies, they need to set up these additional take-back mechanisms, make it work in terms of economy, and also consumers need to also engage in this.